I went up to my mum the other day and I said, "Mum, what are some funny things that I said when I was a child?" To which she responded, "Oh, I have an entire book of them." She then handed me this, which is an old school exercise book, which she has filled with funny things I said as a child. When I say filled, it's 4.5 pages long. There's not much to it, but it's things my brother and I said when we were little. It's called Funny Sayings of Thomas and William, because they couldn't think of anything more creative than that. Now, the first thing in here isn't even a funny saying. It just says 7500, the 7th of March 2000. William's first kiss. William aged 18 months, Eva aged 1 year. But then it gets into actual quotes from the two of us, such as when William, in March of 2001, just a year later, said, "There's a cat on the wheelie bin. It's got a black tail, just like I haven't." Well observed. When the Queen Mother died in 2002, all sad and stuff, when her coffin was being put into the hearse, my brother, aged 3.5, said, "Mummy, why are they putting her in the boot?" I was brought up a Christian, and when William was 18 months old, he was praying, and he said, "Mumble, mumble, mumble, horsey, mumble, 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 bye-bye, mumble, mumble, amen." And that was the extent of his prayer. From Will, he was 8, so this is quite recent, this is only 6 years ago. And we saw a doctor plus a trainee doctor because Will had had a really bad stomachache. And they went through all these procedures and doing tests and stuff. And the doctor asked him where it hurt. To which he replied, "In the bedroom and in the living room." Now to some of mine. Me aged 3, I said, "Jesus is in my Bible. He's got a hairy chin and a bottom. Well done, baby Tom. Well done." Another time, I was sitting and just drawing. I've always been quite an artistic person, more so when I was little, admittedly, I just wasn't as good. And I was just sitting and drawing, and my dad came up to me and said, "Have you done a poo?" "No, a house." That just makes me so proud. I'm glad that I said that. Then there are some less funny ones, like when he asked me what God looked like, and I said, "A pig." Or when he said, "What's Jesus' daddy called?" and I said, "Tinky Winky." Then there was the one where I saw a dog cocking its leg over a bollard, and I said, "Mummy, look! That dog's got water coming out its leg." I obviously didn't completely understand the concept of urination at this point, even though I'd been alive for 4 years. A few years ago, I said, "What happens if you get your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck when you're a faeces in your mummy's tummy?" Now this would be acceptable if I'd been a little child, possibly 8 or 9, because for a child of that age, those are easy words to get muddled up. I was 12. Another one. When I used to go to nursery school, John of Gaunt Nursery School, there was a toy dog called Douglas, and basically every week they'd give it to a student, and they'd say, "Look after this toy dog for a week," and it had clothes and a little hat. And basically I treated it like it was a human. I would change its clothes and pretend to feed it and pretend to give it baths and take him for walks and stuff. And I would talk to him, have actual long conversations with him because I was really little at the time. And I basically treated Douglas like a person. But then he went to Pizza Hut. But then the assistant came over and said, "He's a nice dog, he needs lots of cuddles." And I said, He's not real, I was even sarcastic then. When I was 4, my mum took me to a public unisex toilet in the middle of Norwich. And it was inside, it was all shiny and silver and posh and weird. And there was a button that you had to press to get out. I can still remember this. We came out after I'd finished doing my business, and as we were walking back across the yard towards my dad, my brother and my mum's friend Carolyn, I said, in front of a lot of strangers, quite loudly, "Mum just took me to do a wee in a lift." It's sad, really, that my favourite one in here It's actually Williams. Again, I can remember this. He was about 6 and he went out of the room for a really long time and we were all very confused and we didn't know where he'd gone because he never went anywhere by himself. And he came out and he went, "I've just been to the toilet." And my mum said to him, "So have you washed your hands?" And in the most polite way possible, he said, "No, I licked them." He'd literally licked his hands instead of cleaning them. That is most of them. As you can probably tell, we were fairly special children. I think I've probably found the book that would win the award for the most boring book. The Miles Kelly Book of Lists.